Seat, sit, leave, live, meet, mit. Can you hear the vowel differences in these words? Pronouncing the differences between the E sound and the I sound ensures that you are distinguishing between two different words. Now this can be extra challenging, not only because the difference between these two sounds is so small, but also because your native language might not even have one of these sounds, most likely the I sound, leaving you to over-rely on the E sound, which of course causes you to say words that have a completely different meaning than the one you intended. In this video, you will learn 3 simple tricks to get closer to that I sound, and yeah, you'll also learn why there's this creepy little mouth sitting next to me. Let's jump right in. Tip number 1 comes down to our lips. So when we do the E versus the I sound, we're really talking about tension versus relaxation. And maybe you've noticed this one because it is very visual. When we make the E sound, our lips spread out, E. And when we make the I sound, our lips stay very neutral and relaxed. So I want you to watch my mouth as I say these words. Seat, keep, leave, feet. Those were all the E words, right? Okay, so let's compare contrast. I'm going to do the E and the I sound in a word and just watch the difference in my mouth. Seat, sit, leave, live, feet, fit. And you can see that spreading and that relaxation. The only thing, that spreading is not necessary. So even though we do it when we speak, I can actually make those E sounds without spreading my lips. So if I say, instead of seat, I say seat. Instead of leave, I say leave. Or feet, feet. I can do it. So that tells us that there is something much bigger going on than just the lips. Tip number 2 is the driving force behind the differences between these two sounds, and they have to do with tongue placement and tension. So I'm going to take this big mouth here and I'm going to remove the tongue. I'm going to show you tongue position using my hand. So it's just a little more dynamic than that fake tongue there. Anytime we are talking about the vowel sounds, we're going to talk about the tongue position as it moves across a front and back plane and a top to bottom plane. Okay, so we're either going to be, low, mid, or high, or we're going to be front, central, and back. You don't need to memorize that. It's just, I'll be showing you with each vowel that we do, but just as background knowledge, I want you to have that. So for the E sound, our tongue is actually high and back. Okay, so E, we actually have to use some tension and pull it high and back. E. And for the I sound, it just stays it just stays put. We are not putting any tension into the tongue at all. It's not moving up or down, it just stays where it's at. So if you're having trouble just even being relaxed with that I sound, we can use being in the E sound and applying relaxation across different areas to find it. Feels a little bit silly, but we're going to do it. So I want you to just bear with me for a second. So we're going to hold the sound out, E, continuously for a long time. And as we do that, we're going to start relaxing different things, starting with the lips. So I'm going to demonstrate that. E. And as you can see, and we talked about before, you can still make the E sound. So the first thing we'll relax is the lips. And then I will use my hand in this mouth as a cue, because your tongue will be back here, of when to relax, bring it down and forward. Okay, so we'll start with the lips though. So here we go with our E sound. E. You hear that? So if we are able to relax and bring our tongue forward from the E sound, we end up with I. And as we do it that way, it sounds really weird, but that's one way to find it. If that wasn't awkward enough for you, there's an even more awkward way to find it, which is just sticking your tongue straight out and then bringing it back a little bit. Okay, so in that way, you're kind of like overdoing the relaxation. Okay, but then bringing it back to its appropriate place. And as long as there's no tension in that tongue, you're going to end up with an I sound. Okay, so you can either go from E and relax everything or just go full relaxation. As you bring it closer to just behind your teeth, you should have the I sound and not the E sound. So either way, whatever helps you find that sound, try to feel what that feels like in comparison to the E sound. So let's try it. Think about your tongue as you do these words that we've seen before. So seat, your tongue should be coming back. Seat, sit, leave, live, feet, fit. All right? So that is how our tongue is coming into play, and that is the biggest determiner between these two sounds. But there is one more thing we need to think about. Our third and final tip is just one minor tweak that gets us even closer to that target I sound, which is our jaw. So now we are at a point where everything flips. Before, with the E sound, we had movement and tension in our lips and our tongue, but now with the jaw, it's actually staying put and relaxed. E. There's no movement here. But with the I sound, where before we had relaxation in our lips and our tongue, now we have a little bit of movement. I. The jaw drops and opens just ever so slightly. So let's see what that looks and sounds like with a few words. Seat, sit. Did you see that slight jaw movement? Meet, mit. Beat, bit. So it just opens ever so slightly, and that allows a little more of that I sound. Because it's dropping, you're actually releasing any more tension that could have been in the tongue too, because your tongue is following that drop. Now, as we move forward and look at some minimal pairs that we'll go through, we want to remember each of those components. So we had lips, tongue, and jaw. For our lips, we have them pulled back for the E sound. We have them very relaxed for the I sound. For our tongue, it is high and back for the E sound. It is neutral and relaxed for the I sound. Our jaw stays in place for E, and our jaw does a slight drop for I. Now, let's run through some words and see if we can put all of that together and hit that target E and our target I sound. I will start with the E words, and I'll leave space for you to practice as well. Seat, sit. Leave, live. Sheep, ship. Bead, bid. Cheap, chip. Deep, dip. Heat, hit. Feast, fist. Green, grin. Sleek, slick. Reach, rich. Peak, pick. Team, Tim. Feel, fill. Keen, kin. Steal, still. All right, now that you can say each sound in words, we're going to throw them in sentences. And each sentence will have both the E and the I sound to get your brain used to that quick transition between tension and relaxation. And I've got our handy mouth here so that I can show you with my hand what your tongue is doing. So for the E sounds, I will pull it up and back, and for I, I'll just kind of show that it relaxes. Okay? I will say the sentences and you repeat them. Let's go. Please sit in this seat. Please sit in this seat. He wants to leave where they live. He wants to leave where they live. Each little thing has an itch. Each little thing has an itch. The sheep is on the ship. The sheep is on the ship. This is a deep pit. This is a deep pit. And that's it. Those 3 changes should get you closer to distinguishing between an E or an I sound. But if you still have more questions or still had trouble with something, just let me know down in the comments and I'll try to answer the best that I can. I would also like to know what was helpful and what wasn't. So if you liked the mouth and the visual that provided, please let me know. If you didn't and you hated it, you thought it was stupid, let me know. I can make any changes so that these videos are the best for you and everyone else watching trying to learn. With that, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, you can head to the link where you can schedule with me, or if you just want to watch more videos, I do have more videos on different vowels, and I also have a mini course that you can check out. So please do what you need to do, have a great day, and I will see you next time.